The forerunner of the Hebrew people was Abraham. Abraham was the first Hebrew. Abraham begat Isaac. Isaac begat Jacob. Jacob was renamed Israel. Jacob begat 12 sons. These 12 sons became the 12 tribes of Israel. 12 tribes of Israel. They went down to Egypt. They became a great, a very numerous nation. And they were brought up out of Egypt by Moses, and they wandered through the wilderness. They came to the land of Canaan, and they conquered it. And they conquered the land of Canaan, and they divided it amongst their tribes. First they had judges, then they had kings. The first king was King Saul from the tribe of Benjamin. The king after him was David from the tribe of Judah. He got Solomon, who built the temple. After Solomon came Rehoboam. In the time of Rehoboam, the 12 tribes divided into 2 separate sections. The northern section comprised 10 tribes. The southern section comprised the tribes of Judah, Benjamin, most of Levi, and representative minorities from all of the other tribes. The northern tribe was the most numerous. The northern tribe was conquered. The predominant tribe amongst the northern tribe, amongst the 10 northern tribes, was Joseph. And Joseph had comprised 2 tribes, Ephraim and Manasseh, 2 tribes in one, Ephraim and Manasseh. They were conquered by the Assyrians. All the 10 tribes were conquered by the Assyrians and taken away into exile into Assyria. From there, they moved on, they separated, they moved out, they moved to the north, they moved to the west, or they were taken there. However it goes, they got there. They were taken to Western Europe, and there they became national states in Western Europe. And we can even identify which tribes went to which countries, and identify certain countries with certain tribes. And the tribes of Joseph, Ephraim, and Manasseh came to the British Isles, and from there they gave rise to the USA. And the USA people from those areas in which the tribe of Manasseh had been preeminent in the British Isles, they were more numerous. They were the ones who set the tone, and also the demographic weight in the USA. And for that and different reasons, we can identify the USA as Manasseh, whereas the British and offshoots of the British pertain more to Ephraim. At all events, both pertain to Joseph, who were the main tribes out of the 10 tribes. They're the 10 tribes, and the 10 tribes have been promised. They've been promised blessings. Blessings in the Bible are given to the Israelite people in general. We can divide. In these blessings we see a distinction between the Judah, that is the people who became the Jewish people, those tribes who became the Jewish people, and the northern tribes. The Jewish people were destined to remain identifiable as the Israelites, to keep the Torah and to develop the Torah, and in the end times the Messiah will come through them and they will give their message to all of the world. Meantime, they have a task to fulfill, which is to keep the Torah and maintain it and develop it. Whereas the northern tribes, according to the Bible, different passages in the Bible, also rabbinical commentaries on the Bible, so the task of the northern tribes was to go down amongst the Gentiles, become part of the Gentiles, like unto them, and to elevate themselves and the Gentiles along with them. We see that is what has happened. We may identify the lost 10 tribes with peoples in Western Europe and in North America and related areas, and there are proofs of this. So the proofs, part of the proofs that we have is to take the blessings that were promised to the Abraham, Isaac and Jacob and put them all together and see what nations fulfill all of them, put all at the one and the same time. And that is what we have done, as we will show you. Abraham was the first Hebrew. Abraham was promised that he would become a great and mighty nation, and in all will all the peoples of the earth be blessed. And in you will all the families of the earth be blessed. A great nation, and in you will all the families of the earth be blessed. See Genesis 12. Isaac, the son of Abraham, was promised that he would inherit the blessing to Abraham. See Genesis 17:21. Isaac begat Esau and Jacob, but Jacob received the blessing. See Genesis 28:2-3. Jacob, who was renamed Israel, would become a community of peoples. See Genesis 28:2-3. The name of Jacob was changed to Israel. See Genesis 32:8. Genesis 35:20. Jacob had 12 sons. See Genesis 36:22. They were the 12 tribes of Israel, the 12 sons of Israel. Out of the 12 tribes, out of these 12 tribes, the two major ones were Judah and Joseph. Judah and Joseph. See 1 Chronicles 5 verse 1, as it says, and the sons of Reuben, the firstborn of Israel, for he was the firstborn, but when he defiled his father's bed, his birthright was given to the sons of Joseph, the son of Israel, but not to be reckoned in the genealogy as a firstborn. So Joseph became the firstborn. Okay, physically, biologically, the firstborn son was Reuben, but because he had acted in an inappropriate manner, he had not acted as he should have acted, it was taken from him and the firstborn right was given to Joseph. It continues. 1 Chronicles chapter 5 from 1 continues into verse 2, and it says, because Judah became greater than his brothers, and the Nugget, the real leader, the Messiah will be from him, but the firstborn goes to Joseph. 1 Chronicles chapter 5 verses 1 and 2. That is the whole story, and that is what happened. Judah, the tribe of Judah, was to bring forth the future Messiah who will redeem the world and will let each and every person know to what tribe they pertain to, and he will guide us. And until that time, Judah has the task of fulfilling the Torah, keeping the Torah. Joseph was to lose his identity. He was to forget who he was, no longer become lost amongst the nations, but to elevate the nations from within and to prepare the world in his own way for the future. And Joseph was the leader of the other tribes. We identify Joseph with the English-speaking peoples and the other tribes with other nations in Western Europe. So the majority of the Israelite peoples are amongst the Gentiles. They're amongst those peoples who we mentioned, amongst those nations whom we mentioned. We don't say that everyone in those areas is a descendant of the Hebrews, but a good portion of them are. Enough for the Bible to mention them, to speak of them, to prophesy concerning them, and to mention distinctive factors that enable us to identify them in those areas. It's worth taking into account, it's worth knowing, and it should be known. The time has come for this to be made known, for this knowledge to be spread and internalized and studied and developed more. As we said, Joseph had received a separate blessing. Apart from that given to all the tribes, each tribe received its own individual blessing. See Genesis 49. And Deuteronomy, at the end of the book of Deuteronomy, where each and every tribe receives its own blessing. But Joseph had before then received his own separate blessing, a special blessing, as it says in Genesis 49, the blessings of your father surpass the blessings of my parents. The ends of the everlasting hills, may they come upon Joseph's head, and to the crown of the head of the one who is separated from his brothers. That is, Joseph received a blessing beyond that given him from Abraham and Isaac. Jacob gave Joseph an extra blessing. Joseph was to be blessed even more than the others. Now we will return to that later. At the moment we'll go through the blessing to become a great and mighty nation, to become extremely numerous, and we'll go through each and every one of the pertinent points, the identifying signs of the blessings in different episodes of these talks at the moment concerning being a great multitude of peoples, a great number of people. Let us see what the Bible says. Abraham will become a great nation. Abraham will become a great nation, and in you will all the families of the earth be blessed. See Genesis 12, 2-3. It says in Genesis 15, also concerning Abraham, and you took him outside. Please look towards heaven and count the stars if you are able to count them. So will be your seed.